Valheim is a survival crafting game where you play a Viking, in the afterlife, trying to earn your way into Valhalla, by defeating the enemies of Odin. It is currently in early access, so it is not super polished, but it is obviously good enough to be generating some hype lately. Before you can play, you must create a character. Character customization options are currently fairly limited. Hopefully they expand them in the future. The character you create is stored on your system alone. If you don't want to lose it, you will need to back it up. It is stored in the folder shown at the bottom of the screen. Be aware that this has already led to the development of character file editors. It will also impair your ability to play on multiple systems if you do not copy your character files back and forth. Since they are stored locally, you must select a character before selecting a world on which to play. Your world options are to start your own solo play world or to join a world hosted by you or one of your friends. The game currently contains no ownership on structures. Anything you build can be accessed, used, taken, or destroyed by anyone else in the world. You will want to only play with people you trust. The world itself is procedurally generated via world seeds similar to other games like Minecraft. If having specific features in your world is of interest to you, then you may want to browse the internet for specific world seeds prior to starting. The survival aspect of the game does not focus too heavily on sustenance. You do not have to drink at all, and food merely helps you maintain an optimal health pool for combat, but when you are not fighting, it will not really matter if you do not eat. Your character's abilities are based on a skill system. The more you do something, the better you get at it, whether it is swimming, jumping, running, punching, using a weapon, blocking, chopping wood, etc. The game's controls mirror those of other games in the genre and can be adjusted in the settings menu. The game does have a block and dodge mechanic configured by default to the right mouse button for block, and spacebar while blocking to do a dodge roll. You can also sneak via left control. The default HUD consists of an 8-slot hotbar in the top left corner, active effects and mini-map in the top right corner, health and food meters in the bottom left corner, and a controls helper in the bottom right corner, which will change slightly depending on what you have in your hands. Items you loot will appear briefly under your hotbar, and your stamina bar will appear under your character when your stamina is not full. Sprinting, jumping, swimming, sneaking, and swinging weapons in combat all consume stamina. The lower your stamina bar gets, the less effective your actions become. You should try to keep your stamina above half. You will lose less stamina if you level your skills. You may want to start by jumping and running around the stones a few times and punching trees or rocks merely for a few quick skill gains. The game's main menu is accessed via the tab button. Your inventory will appear under your hotbar with your current total armor and weight values to the right of it. The crafting menu will appear on the right side of the screen. Above the crafting menu you will find 4 buttons, a PvP damage toggle, your trophies list, your skills list, and the Valheim compendium used for reviewing logs or the details of your active effects. You can equip and unequip armor by right-clicking on it in your inventory. Equipped items will turn blue. You learn crafting recipes by finding the items required to craft them. You start with no recipes, so your first objective will be to wander around and pick up small stones and fallen branches or punching small trees. You will not yet be able to gather resources from large trees until you craft an axe, or from large stones until you craft a pickaxe. You can only craft a few things from your inventory. To craft more complex items you will need to craft a hammer, put it on your hotbar, press the key for the hotbar slot to switch to it, then right-click to open and close its crafting menu. If you selected anything while in the hammer crafting menu, it will be remembered when you equip and unequip the hammer. To clear it you need to click back to the hammer in the hammer crafting menu. When you mouse over or select an item from the hammer crafting menu, it will show you the resource costs at the bottom of the screen. Resources that you need more of will be flashing. To advance your crafting abilities further, you must use the hammer to construct a covered workbench. The first workbench in the area must go on the ground, but find some level ground so that you can construct at least a small U of walls around it and line them up so you can put a roof over them. Your workbench will become accessible by pressing E once you have appropriate shelter built near it. While trying to place objects from the hammer's building or furniture tabs, you will see a white ring around nearby workbenches showing the buildable area. The next thing you will want to build is a hoe. The hoe tool will allow you to raise and lower the ground so that you have more buildable area and can align your structures properly. Its interface is similar to that of the hammer. Bear in mind when wielding crafting tools like the hoe and hammer that your mouse wheel switches from zoom to rotate. So set your preferred zoom level prior to switching to a crafting tool. When building your structures, if you intend to have fires inside, be sure to leave vents for smoke to escape or you may asphyxiate. Also ensure your roof is made of roof tiles to protect your structure from the elements or harsh weather will wear them away. You may also want to build defensive structures around you to protect yourself from NPC raids. They do not happen very often, but when they do you will need all of the help you can get to take down multiple foes at once. Anything that will let you separate foes so you can focus them down one at a time will be very useful. The game uses item durability, but repairs are free at your workbenches. Be sure to spam click the repair button until all of your items are repaired every time you are near your workbench. You can level up your workbench by building add-ons near it, like the chopping block and the tanning rack. It does not matter what order you build them in, each different type of add-on will advance your workbench by one level. Once upgraded, you can use the upgrade tab on the workbench to upgrade gear in your inventory. Find flint near the shorelines and kill some pigs for leather to unlock some new recipes, including the bow. Craft a bow and some arrows to have an easier time killing birds for feathers and deer for deer skin and unlock yet more recipes. You may want to shoot 20 to 30 arrows into a rock or tree to practice with the bow before attempting to use it in the wild. In doing so you will notice that your arrows drop with range, so you will need to aim high. The longer you hold your drawn arrow, the more the aim ring will shrink, allowing you to be more accurate with your shots. Once you get your skill up a bit, the bow becomes very effective. The environment itself can hurt you. Walking too close to your campfire will set you ablaze. Falling trees and rolling logs can harm or kill you. If you run out of stamina while swimming, you will take damage quickly and swim very slowly. Entering deep water will unequip your weapons. If you die, you will appear back at the starting stones, or you can place and claim a bed to move your spawn point wherever you like. Be aware that death also causes you to lose skill points, so maximize your chances of survival at all times. One way of doing this is eating 3 different kinds of food to increase your health pool when you plan on being in combat. To do this, you will have to build a cooking station over a campfire. Eat edible flora you pick while gathering resources, and eat various cooked meats from creatures you have killed. Also pay close attention to your status effects. Staying in a well-enclosed structure and near a fire at the same time will provide the resting effect. Stay long enough and you will gain a 10-minute rested buff that will give you plus 50% health regeneration and plus 100% stamina regeneration. Avoid effects like cold and wet, which will reduce your health and stamina regeneration. Craft yourself a full suit of leather armor and upgrade all of your armor and weapons to level 3, get your rested buff, eat 3 types of food, bring 2 deer trophies on your hotbar to his altar to summon the first boss. You might also want to avoid fighting him in the rain. Follow these simple steps and you should have no problems killing him and using his hard antlers to finally craft yourself an antler pickaxe.